What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the pitch. We got a good show today, and as usual nowadays, I'm joined by the executive commish, Kale. Kale, how's it going?
Good. I'm not very happy with you, though. You didn't let me do the 15 through 11 top players.
Yeah, well, we'll see about the future ones.
Yeah, well, there wouldn't even be a show. You wouldn't even have a show without me, so.
I guess that's true. Well,
we should be a little more grateful next time.
Well, we'll see. That being said, we have a good show today. Wow. So let's just get to it. First topic of the day is, as many of you have probably already seen, the new expansion team, the Washougal Wrecking Crew. The owner is Aaron Deester. He's a friend of Kale. Kale, can you tell us a little bit about how this started?
Yeah, basically how it all went down was he contacted me about a couple weeks ago. He had checked out the league on his own and got a hold of me and was like, I want to have an expansion team in this league. And so we got to talking and laid the groundwork. Obviously, we approved of the expansion team joining the league, and then they joined officially on Friday. So we wish them the best of luck, and we're glad to have them.
It's cool. It seems like that's kind of how most of these expansion teams come up. But as of this team right now, there's not a ton to talk about, to be honest. They actually don't have anyone on their roster. I know he has a few people in mind he wants to sign, correct? Am I correct there?
Yeah, he's going to sign. He intends to sign himself to the team. He's
right.
going to be one of those player owners, and then he intends to sign a few of his friends from Washougal too. So this is going to be an all Washougal team,
right.
basically, or the team's going to be made up of players that current members of the league have no idea who they are. So they're
right.
It's one of those situations.
So on that end, we don't really have much to talk about, but we could talk about their logo, which I think is pretty cool. And they're the first team to use orange. Was this your idea, or was this his idea?
Oh no, this is every owner gets to decide all the things about their franchise, all that stuff, the team name, the logos, the colors, everything. It's their team. That was all him. Yeah, I like the team name, the Wrecking Crew. It's kind of cool. I like the logo. Yeah, orange. I'm surprised no other team has used orange before them.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Well,
yeah.
That's kind of the extent that we have to talk about this team so far, so let's move on.
We'll get more news as they start signing people and, all that.
Yeah. One more thing about the Wrecking Crew, guys. Sometime next week, we're going to have a video come out where we basically just flip a coin to see what conference they'll be in, and that's how we're going to decide. Alright, now we can move on, talk about something that we can actually talk about. Next up is Macee Utecht signs with the Underdogs to a $5 two-tournament contract. So it's not a max rookie contract, but it's almost a max rookie contract. Now, Kale, I want to hear your thoughts on this first before I get going.
Well, first of all, I was so happy to see that a rookie coming into the league finally doesn't sign a max contract. Ever since that rule got put in the CBA, that where max contracts were going to be automatic, rookie contracts are going to be automatic length of 2 tournaments,
yeah.
And that the max contract they could get was $6 over 2 tournaments. And I swear, every single rookie that's come in the league since that happened has got a max deal for I don't know why. Brock, I don't know why.
What do you dislike that has happened?
No, I would have thought, only really hyped up players would have got that, and everyone else would have got less.
Yeah.
And so to see finally an owner is saying, look, we're not going to give you the max deal right away. We're not going to give you a rookie max deal. I loved it.
Right. Now, let's get into what this means for the Underdogs. To me, this sign is actually an okay sign. Do I think Macee's going to be a big impact player? Now, granted, I've never seen her play wiffle ball before, so keep that in mind. But I don't think that she's going to be, a huge impact player. I think she'll just be kind of around average. I don't know if you agree with me there. But,
well,
go ahead.
Yeah, maybe she's a good athlete. She adds more women to the league, so that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. She'll play the field probably as well, which can add a little to what she does.
Then Tierney doesn't have to, assuming that they start Adam at pitcher. You know what, Brock? One thing I'm noticing with owner Granny Woodruff is she talked about Tierney maybe, becoming a pitcher.
Yeah.
And, she acquired her, and they have a history together when it comes to, softball type, baseball type, wiffle ball things.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
From when Granny coached her when she was in, elementary school.
Yeah.
And she also coached, Macee played on that team with Tierney.
Yeah.
And she went out and got them. So I don't know if this is Granny trying to, rekindle this whole team back together. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, it would.
I don't know who else was on that team that she might eventually go out and get.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you brought up another thing that was we were talking about the other day. Why don't you tell everyone what it was?
Well, the idea that Granny not only... Now, I don't think this is the whole reason that she signed Macee, but it's not the only reason just to have her on her team. But that also she signed Macee to maybe in the future try and attract Michael Sullivan away from the Cobras to her team. I hadn't thought about it before, but thinking about it now, and it sounds like something she would do. It really does.
This is how it went down. When I got as executive commissioner, when I got the confirmation text that said I have signed Macee from Granny, that says I have signed Macee Utecht $5 2-term, rookie deal.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and then a half hour later, I text her back, and because I thought about it, and I was like, is this in any way, some kind of strategy to try to get Michael Sullivan, who's her boyfriend, onto your team after his contract expires with the Cobras in one tournament, because Michael's a really good player, and all she replied back was just ha ha. So this is really smart of her to do. If it is one of the reasons, that's just good.
It's good ownership, is what it is.
That's good ownership. It really is.
Me personally,
I hope it is one of the reasons she did it, because that's just.
Right. Me personally, and probably you deep down, outside of being the JL commissioner, obviously, but being a part of the Cobras, and me being the creator of the Cobras, I don't like that she's doing this because I want Michael to stay on the Cobras, and I'm sure you do too, but outside of that, it's very creative. It's something that sounds like she would do, and it's kind of devious, and I like it.
She is. That's the kind of owner she is, and that's just what makes the whole fact that the underdogs have never won a championship even more funny, because she puts a lot of effort into this,
she
and
really
a lot of thought into her team, and it just has never paid off. And
Mike could be someone who could change that, though. He's at that level, though.
I don't know how much Michael really cares about playing with his, girlfriend. I don't know how big of a factor that would be, but it is a good idea from Granny's perspective.
All right, that was good. That was juicy. Let's move on. Okay, now we're gonna shift gears a little and go to a more fun, kind of goofy segment, and it's called "What Happened to Him." Now, basically, this segment is about 3 players this time who have been in the JL before, some of them multiple tournaments, and actually weren't bad. But now they are nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. So
the guys we have on this list just kind of fell off the road.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to them.
Right. So first one on this list goes by the name of Rahn. He's played in one tournament that was JL 11, and like I said, he wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. Kale, what happened to him?
Well, he was actually on my team. The Cobras signed him to a 1-tournament deal. This is back before rookie contracts, and this was his rookie debut. And I mean, he was on the roster of a team that went to the playoffs, lost in the semifinals, had a good regular season, and his numbers weren't bad. He wasn't flashy, but
right.
you know, the Cobras chose not to re-sign him after that tournament,
and no one else did either.
No one else did. And you know, as executive commissioner, I hear what the owners are thinking a lot. You know, you know, I hear all the rumors. I hear what their, you know, intentions are, what players they're looking at, and you know, I hear a lot of things that don't actually end up happening. You know, when they're talking about players, I haven't heard any of them talk about Luke Rahn.
Yeah, I haven't heard his name.
His name never gets brought up. I don't know why. I don't think he was a bad player.
I don't either. Honestly, I don't really know why he hasn't been brought up either.
I don't know, but he's just, he fell off the map.
He did.
Alright, who's next?
Next up is Rick Woodruff. Now, he has played in 2 tournaments, and in JL4, he was on Tierney's team, and they actually went to the Cup. They lost, but they made it to the Cup. And, you know, he's actually a pretty good player, I think. I know a lot of people probably haven't seen him play because he played in earlier tournaments, but I think he's actually a pretty good player. He's a good batter. And I don't know. He's gone now.
Yeah, he played with Tierney on the underdogs back in JL4, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons, Brock, is he played when the league, you know, before the league kind of became what it is
smaller,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a good player, and I think, you know, he's one of the, like how I said, I've heard owners talking about players, but I haven't heard them talking about Luke. I've heard owners talking about Rick. It's
really?
Just that I have.
Wow.
But I have, they just have never went out and got him.
Right.
And so he remains just off the map.
Yeah. I think, too, a lot of people...
I think one of the things, you know, they get scared off about his reliability.
Yeah, because he has a
family.
family. Yeah.
He's got 3 little kids. You know, if you sign in, there's no, like, guarantee that he's going to be available to play for your team. I think that's probably an issue, but...
It's probably the main reason. I think a lot of people just don't know him either.
I know. I really want to see him back in the league because he's a good...
I do too. He's a good player.
Someone picks him up. I hope someone ends up picking him up at some point because he is a good player. I think he's like a player that could be an all-star if he had a good tournament.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the last one here. This one's probably the most shocking. And this person's name is Bryce DesArmo. He's played in 4 total tournaments. He's been an all-star numerous times. He's been a fielding crown champion numerous times, if I'm right there.
Twice, yeah.
Twice. He's been an MVP once, and then those were in his first 2 tournaments he played in. And then in the last 2 tournaments he played in, he did nothing. I mean, he got no awards. He didn't win. And now, like this segment is called, what happened to him?
Oh my gosh, this is like the ultimate.
This is the most surprising to me, too.
I'm looking at his player page right now on my computer, and you're right, he was an all-star in his first 2 tournaments, which was JL5 and JL7. And he was the fielding crown winner in both those, and in JL7 he won the MVP.
Yeah.
And his team won the championship.
Yeah.
Then we go to JL8 and JL9, and you're right, he had no awards, his stats weren't great, his team didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And then he hasn't been signed. And I've heard people talk about signing him. I
have too. I've actually heard it more than probably most people.
I don't know. He's just, no one will pick him up. I don't know if teams are afraid of...
I don't know. I'll tell you why I think that people have shied away from him. One of the thing that he was best at was fielding. And now that the pitching has gotten so much better in the league, it's less important now. Because if you think about it, he's not a great batter. He can get hot, but he strikes out a lot. And he doesn't pitch, so that's to me why they shy away from him now.
Yeah, I like the other 2. I hope he gets picked up. I mean, you probably know this. I know for a fact that my owner has looked at him and is looking at him to play the field. You know, as some, because I know my team is looking for someone to play the field, so I don't have to play the field.
Yeah.
I'm lazy if I don't put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
And I know we're looking at some players, and he's one of them. I would love to have him on my team. I'd love to just see him back in the league, signing with somebody in general.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I don't think he's a good player. I think he could still be a good player in the league. He's just,
I think
he's had a couple rough turns.
Like he's better than a handful of players that are on rosters right now.
Yeah. Keep a lookout for Bryce. He could help your team.
That's why we did this segment, because it's funny to us that some of these players they're good enough. They're just not there. They're not there for whatever reason.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the last segment.
All right, what do we got?
We got buy or sell. So we have a couple questions here, and then we're both going to answer them, saying whether we buy it or sell it. Got it?
All right, let's do it.
All right, first question is, buy or sell the Express will break the win streak of 7 games. They are currently at 5.
You know what? Me and you, when we were on the Cobras together, we were the ones that set that record of 7 games.
Yep.
And I hope it doesn't get broken, but I'm 100% going to buy this. All they would have to do, because you know the regular season for JL.
Yeah.
For a team is 3 games, and they're at 5, like you said, so they would just have to go 3-0 in the regular season. You know, we'll see what their schedule ends up looking like when all that stuff.
Yeah,
get to that point.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna buy it as well. Just like you said, the regular season. Plus, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's possible that they could even not play the Lynx in the regular season.
Yeah.
And if that happens, I'm buying it over 100%, because really right now the only team I see them maybe losing to is the Lynx.
Yeah, and the Lynx would have to play good, and the Express would have to play bad.
Yeah. All right.
And there's no guarantee, like you said, that they'll even play.
Right.
So.
All right.
What's next?
Next is buy or sell. Owner of the Bison, James French, will sign a 4th player prior to JL13.
Yeah, this is a good one. When he re-signed his whole team, because his whole team was free agents,
right.
Michael, Screen, Ty Franklin, and himself, we're all free agents after 12, and he re-signed all of them. And then when he did that, he also told me, I'm going to be looking into signing a 4th player to be a consistent, reliable pitcher that we can rely on. And I was like, who? And he was like, I don't know yet. And there isn't really any veteran players on the market that, so it would have to be like some new player.
Right.
Some new rookie. I'm actually going to buy this. I think he's
really?
going to, yeah, I am. I think James actually wants to win, despite what everyone thinks.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
I
think the whole team wants to win.
I think they will win. I think he's going to go out and he's going to find somebody that will. I don't know how good of a pitcher they're going to be, but I think he's going to put in the effort to try to do it, and he's going to get somebody.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a big difference maker, though. I don't think that'll end up being the case.
Yeah. I'm going to go on the other side here. I'm going to sell it. And I'll tell you why. I don't doubt that he wants to win. I agree with that completely. I agree with that their whole team wants to win. I don't doubt that he even wants to sign a good pitcher. The only problem I have is, who is that going to be? Like, I can't think of one person. Even the people we just talked about. Bryce is not a pitcher. Luke Rahn is not a pitcher. And Rick, they don't know. First of all, they don't even know Rick. Second of all, I don't think he wants to be a full-time pitcher. And then if you keep going on the free agents, Nick isn't a pitcher. Will Dolan is definitely not a pitcher. So I just don't see who it's going to be, and for that reason, I'm going to sell it.
Well, okay. That's a good point. But like I said, I think it would be some rookie that we don't know about.
Right. All right, let's move on to the last one here. Buy or sell. Anthony Nusbaum is on the Lynx roster for JL13. He is currently on a contract of $6 over, or for 2 tournaments, and he just played his first tournament in the last one.
Yeah, so he's going into the last tournament of his rookie max deal that he was given by the Lynx. This is something we talked about not too long ago, Brock.
Yeah.
We were talking, because, you know, in the past, it was the whole thing we were talking about the team's core of being Jordan and Steven.
Right.
And then, you know, in the past they had Tierney, and then they ended up cutting Tierney.
Yeah.
And they brought in Nusbaum. And I don't know. Well, I think first of all, how good do you think he was in jail 12?
Nusbaum?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he really bring that much to the team personally. I didn't see every game, but I don't think he played in the field at all, and I didn't see him hitting the ball very well. So I don't think he bring that much to the team. Do you agree or do you disagree with that?
I didn't see enough for them to really evaluate. I think he probably brings good things to the table, like being a good teammate. I know Joe Lynn likes him. And so, you know, the team owner Joe Lynn likes him.
Right. But I don't...
She liked Tierney, too, and she cut her.
Yeah. Tierney in her first tournament hit much better than Anthony did, though, with the Lynx.
She did.
So,
I think the more likely scenario here is that he ends up they let him play out the final contract, or the final tournament on his contract, and then they don't re-sign him.
You're selling this.
I will sell it. I think he plays on the Lynx for JL 13, and then if I had to bet right now, I would say he's on a different team for the tournament after that, JL 14.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm gonna agree with you completely. Selling it. He's playing JL 13 on the Lynx. I think he'll be better than he was in 12, but I don't think it's gonna be enough that they want to keep him. So I agree with you 100%.
I think especially if the Lynx don't, you know, if they don't make it to the championship again.
Right.
Which, going through the Express and the American Conference
is likely.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for today's show. Thank you guys again for joining us. As always, you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter and Instagram at JL_wiffleball, and on Snapchat at JL-wiffleball. Do you have something to say?
I do. We got the players 5 through 1 on the top 20 players list. The final section of that coming out tomorrow, so check it out. My name has not been rattled off, so that must mean you put me in the top 5, Brock.
Well,
I assume.
We'll see.
Well, you know what? I like the list so far. I really do. I think you did a good job. I think Stephen Todd was a little bit high at 8. That's the one I had a problem with.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but, you know, I have my reasons. Again, thank you guys for joining us. When you see that video, comment. I want to hear you guys' opinions on our list, and we'll see you guys next time.